Hi, welcome to my video on the volume of a rectangular prism, or it could be called a rectangular box. The volume of a rectangular prism or box. The rectangular box has a rectangle at the bottom which has a length and a width. So the bottom of the box, which is this, right here, there, is a rectangle, and its dimensions are length and width. And this is the height of the box, that's h. So the volume is a base area moving through a distance called the height. So the base area is a rectangle, which is the length and the width. And the height is h. So the volume is base area times height. We keep doing that each time for any of the figures. Could be a rectangular prism, could be a triangular prism, could be a cube, could be a cylinder, etc. Makes no difference, or pyramid. So the volume formula is base area, which is LWH. So rectangular prism has a volume of length times width times height. Find the volume of each rectangular prism. We got a length of 4, we have a width of 3, and a height of 5. So that means all units, you got to be careful, all units are the same. So the volume is length times width times height. So the length is 4, the width is 3, and the height is 5. When you multiply 12 times 5, you get 60. And volume is in cubic. So it's cubic feet. Or, again, just emphasize feet cubed. Another way to do that would be to get the base area first, which is length times width. And that's, the length is 4, the width is 3. That gives 12. Then we have the height, which is 5. And then we could substitute into the volume is the base area times the height. So that's 12 times 5, which gives us 60, and is feet cubed. So you can do it all in one, memorizing the formula, length times width times height, and write it all out. Or you can get the base area first to get 12, and then substitute into base area times the height. So your choice. But it's an easy volume form to memorize, length times width times height. B, we have a length of 8.1 meters, we have a width of 5.2 meters, and we have a height of 100 centimeters. 100 centimeters, so 100, there's 100 centimeters in a meter, so that makes it 100 centimeters is 1 meter. So the volume is the length times the width times the height. The length is 8.1, the width is 5.2, and the height is 1. And when you multiply that out, you get 42.12. Multiply with a calculator. And the volume is in meters, so it's meters cubed or cubic meters. Practice means pause the video and work each of those out. So you can do that for each one of these one at a time. Find the volume of each rectangular prism. And we have all units. We have the length, the width, and the height. So the volume is the length times the width times the height. And we have 10 times the 7 times the 4. 70 times 4 is 280, and it's cubic millimeters. And number 2, pause the video again, work it out, and then press play. We have inches, and feet. So we have to have them all the same, so it's better to get larger, bigger number, but 1 foot is 12 inches. So 1 foot is 12 inches. So let's find the volume in cubic inches. The volume of a rectangular prism is length times width times height. That's 9.4 times 4.3 times 12. And when you multiply all that out with a calculator, you get 485.04. And it's in inches, So we can say inches cubed or cubic inches, your choice. I'd vary in using cu as cubic or to the power of 3, either or. Number 3, we have a length, a width, and a height given again. We got centimeters, centimeters, and centimeters, but this time we have some fractions. So the volume is of a rectangular solid, length times width times height. Again, that's the base area, which is the bottom of a rectangle times the height. And we have a 4 times 2 5/8 times 1 3/7. So let's change the mixed number to an improper fraction. 2 times 8 is 16. 16 plus 5 is 21 over 8. 1 times 7 is 7, plus 3 is 10, so it's 10 over 7. Since we're multiplying fractions, the 4 is understood to be over 1. When I multiply fractions, I like to cancel if I can. I could multiply 4 by 21 by 10, write it down, and then multiply 8 by 7, write that down, then divide the top into the bottom. But I like to cancel. 4 into 4 goes once, 4 into 8 goes 2. 2 into 2 goes once, 2 into 10 goes 5. 7 into 7 goes once, 7 into 21 goes 3. When you're canceling fractions, you cancel anywhere from top to bottom, provided you're multiplying. So 1 times 3 times 5 is 15. And 1 times 1 times 1 is 1, so that's 15, and it's in centimeters, so the volume is centimeters cubed, 3 dimensions. Length, width, height, 3 dimensions for volume. And notice the cancellation. And number 4, we have a rectangular box, and we have centimeters and millimeters. So let's change millimeters. I could change the centimeters to millimeters to centimeters. So 20 millimeters is 2 centimeters because you divide by 10. And that's 6.5 centimeters. You divide by 10 because there's 10 millimeters in 1 centimeter. So the volume is length times width times height. And the length is 11. The width is 6.5. And the height is 2. When you multiply all that out, and you get 143, and it's centimeters cubed because you're dealing with volumes, 3 dimensions, length, width, and height. 1, 2, 3. Length, width, and height is 3 of them, so it's volume. And we have another question, and it's practice. Practice means pause the video after you get this all read over and work out the problem to see if you're going to get the right answer. Let's see, we have a box. Notice we have X, Y as a diagonal. That's the longest diagonal in the box from top to bottom. We have the bottom of the box, which is a rectangle, and that's the length and the width. And we want to get the volume. Well, let's see what the volume of a box is the length times the width times the height. Well, we got the length and the width, and we don't have the height. So let's go down here and have a bit of fun. We want to get the, let's see, we have this is 13. So we have the diagonal is 13. We have the length is 4. We have the width is 3. So we need to get the height. So this is the height of the box, or this is the height of the box. Any one of these is the height. So let's put the height right here. So if I draw this diagonal in the bottom, that forms a right angle at the bottom. So I have a Pythagorean undergo. C squared is A squared plus B squared. And just draw that triangle to make it clear. I have a 4 and a 3 with a right angle. So let's call this diagonal X. X is the hypotenuse opposite the right angle, so C is that. A is 3, B is 4. As long as C is the hypotenuse opposite the right angle. Fill in the hypotenuse first. So that gives us 9. 4 squared, 4 times 4, 3 squared is 9. X squared, add first, 25. X is the square root of 25. So X is 5. So that means that that diagonal, which is this one, and that's an X, so that's 5 units long. Now we have another triangle. So let's draw the big triangle this time, this one. So this is X and Y with a right angle. There's a right angle right here. We have a 5 on the bottom. We have a height, and we have the length of the diagonal 13. Note that these units, this is feet now because the units are in feet. This is a length, so it's only feet. It's not an area, it's not a volume. So we have c squared is a squared plus b squared. C is opposite the right angle. There's the hypotenuse, so c is 13. You always fill in the hypotenuse first. If you have it or you don't, you always see if you get your hypotenuse. That's the way I do it. H is the A and 5 is the B, because they're the two legs. A and B are the legs of the right triangle. 13 squared, 13 times 13 is 169. H squared plus 5 squared is 5 times 5 is 25. So H squared is 169 minus 25, because we transpose, move the 25 to the left, make it a minus. So H squared is 144 when we subtract. So H squared is, oops, that's my mistake. The square root of 144 is H. So H is equal to 12. So we have a height of 12. Now we can go write down the volume is length times width times height. And the length is 4. The width is 3. And we found the height to be 12. And that's 12 times 12 is 144. And the units are feet, so that's cubic feet. So we found the volume of the box. But this time I had the long diagonal in there. And we had to do the Pythagoreans. Notice I emphasized the Pythagorean quite often. And that's finding the volume of a rectangular prism box. And if you like my video, click the like button and the subscribe button and the notification bell, because there's more videos coming your way if you are a subscriber. And you can write a comment on my video if you wish. And you may visit my math website, www.mathfullyexplained.com. And there you have information on me, my videos. Video section telling you how I'm going to help you learn your math. And the content is most important, because the black font has what's online right now, and the red font is what I'll be developing in the near future. And I thank you very much for viewing the video. Bye-bye.